Your eternal individuality does not live in the earthly, but in its own world, which looks quite different from the material plane on which your transient personality dwells. I don't understand. Where does it live? Can you explain this more vividly? Think of the image of the rider and the donkey. The donkey lives in a very limited sphere. He has his head down to the ground and can look maybe as far as 5 or 10 meters ahead. The rider, on the other hand, lives in a much more extended world. He looks into the distance, to the heights, and sees far into cosmos, into eternity. Above all, he perceives much more clearly than the donkey the spiritual world around him and what is going on there. The first step to participate practically in the life of the higher world is to first of all create this sphere. Shape consciously the subtle matter, the ether around you. Build in thoughts the highest world you can imagine, your personal paradise. Thereby you create a hologram, an atmosphere, a spiritual world of high vibration around you. And then you will really live like in heaven, in any physical place. Thus, man alone prepares his place in the supermundane world. Learn to live constantly in your paradise, even in the midst of everyday labors and worries. There are very few who can picture their existence in the supermundane world, and those who read about the supermundane world rarely apply to themselves what they have read. They cannot envision a future life or imagine wanting a worthy life beyond the limits of earth. But such dreams, intensely perceived, can be transformed into reality in the supermundane world. There, thought creates, and in the earthly life, thought should build the castle of future heroic deeds. As a spiritual disciple, you will build in thought a sanctuary around yourself, as we had already discussed in the broadcasting The Path of the Inner Temple. You can arch over the material place where you are living and working a hologram with the pure, holy and solemn vibration of a church. The ideal hangs over our heads, like the weaver's pattern above his loom. The result of this exercise is you are living in the spiritual world of a sanctuary, in a vibration of holiness, tranquility, peace, joy and solemnity. No matter how your place of residence is materially constituted. In such an atmosphere, you move calmly, with dignity, and without haste, dejection, or irritation. The projection of a hologram around you is no luxury, no glass speed game, and no meditative navel gazing. On the contrary, the world of waves and vibrations exists around you anyway. You have to arrange it to a certain order, otherwise chaos will reign in your environment. Therefore, it is beneficial for a yogi to have a well-attuned circle around him in order to give a certain form to the approaching cosmic waves. Only think of the infinite number of waves, vibrations, and radiations that surround and even penetrate you. Radio, television, telephone, and internet waves. In addition, the emanations of the thoughts, feelings, and instincts of other people. Just bear in mind, 90% of these rays are negative. Bad news, doomsday stories, porn movies, westerns, detective stories, ugly thoughts, bad feelings, and so on. An evil man is defenseless against this pernicious influence. It is not the light of the supermundane world that surrounds him, but darkness. By projecting a beautiful hologram, you harmonize the vibrations of every room you are in. An expanded consciousness brings into harmony all surrounding consciousnesses, and even has its influence upon the atmosphere. Thus a kind of magnet is formed that attracts and transforms the surroundings. This organizing of the space around you is the precursor to the even greater capability of a high teacher to raise the vibrations of his surroundings over a great distance. The emanations of a pure earthly teacher raise the vibrations all around him, sometimes over a tremendous area. Thus, not only is space purified, but sometimes even the fires of the individuals who surround him are kindled. That is why in ancient times it was considered a great privilege to live near a teacher and serve him, as this provided the possibility of contact with his aura. The hologram is the portable paradise that always exists around you and that you take with you wherever you go. It is not an illusion, but a subtle reality, and thus as perceptible as your aura. You wrap the people you meet in your sanctuary. Thus they will certainly feel the beauty, greatness, and loftiness of the spiritual world in which you enclose them. The aura of a sanctuary surrounds you. Can you give an example? Once, at a business meeting, I sat next to the famous boxer Max Schmeling. Even though he said almost nothing and behaved very modestly, I was dwelling in his world, in the aura of a world champion and international star, and felt honored and elevated thereby. Likewise, you too can create the virtual world, the pure atmosphere of a temple around you, and thus uplift everyone who approaches you and enters your circle of light. It is relatively easy to create a subtle sanctuary around you in which to live. The difficulty is in defending this higher reality during everyday earthly life. Whether the hologram persists or not depends upon its being fed by your psychic energy. That is why Agni Yoga so often speaks of saturation of space. Maintaining the hologram in the midst of normal everyday life is a tough fight. First, you have to use all your mental strength to keep your own vibration high. Otherwise, you cannot raise that of your surroundings either. In addition, you have to cope with the low vibrations of other people who threaten to destroy your world of light, whether they intend to or not. An Agni Yogi is every moment vigilant, concentrated and focused on one goal: to maintain in his sphere the spiritual world of a sanctuary. This is the subtle, the inner work of your soul in your true existence, which you must carry out continuously parallel to the physical work of your body on the material plane. With your thoughts and feelings, you not only build up the higher world, but you also destroy it again. The hologram around you is extremely sensitive. The slightest blow can annihilate it, as it consists of vibrations only. You have to treat it very carefully. You must behave, move, speak and act with the utmost caution, as if you were carrying a highly fragile vessel or an explosive that can blow up at the slightest carelessness. In the world of light, the materially incarnated man is like the proverbial bull in a china shop. The slightest careless movement, the smallest unrestrained roar, immediately smashes the arduously created ethereal glory to pieces. As in church or in the concert hall, even a quiet coughing already disturbs the solemnity of the atmosphere. What is it that threatens my personal higher world? Above all, you yourself. Poisons to the soul like alcohol, smoking, eating too much or too heavy. Negative moods like dejection, irritation, hectic, etc., as well as other thoughts, feelings, words or deeds which do not correspond to the ideal, lower your vibration. As a result, your fiery body collapses and ceases to exist. Then you can no longer participate in the life of the fiery world either. It continues to be present around you, but you are cut off from it because you lack the vehicle to live in it. Likewise, the high vibrating spiritual reality of the temple collapses. This hologram disintegrates as well. Instead, another subtle environment of lower vibration forms around you. You yourself expel yourself from your heaven. Each day and hour, man draws nearer to or recedes from the higher world. Consider also, when you listen to the radio, watch television, go to the cinema, or read a book, you visit a foreign world. These are not your dreams. You are consuming the prefabricated dreams of other people. So pay close attention to whether it is a beautiful and worthy mental world which you enter and in the life of which you participate. As the saying goes, fools rush in where angels fear to tread. Where angels refuse to dwell, a man of spirit should not linger either. From a spiritual point of view, it is an extremely harmful bad habit to turn on radio or TV in every moment of leisure, or even to keep them on all day. By doing so, you switch off your imagination and thus make creative work on the artwork of your world impossible. When an obstacle or a difficulty, hardship or suffering, self-doubt, dejection or cravings pile up in front of you, you have two tasks, one earthly and one supermundane. First, you must keep calm, restore your paradise, and not allow your vibration and that of your surroundings to sink. Only after that being accomplished, your second task is, from the higher point of view of your higher world, bring your superiority to bear, and with the help of your connection to the hierarchy, which only exists if you are attached to heaven, find the best solution that is possible in the given situation. Lord, give me the strength to change what I can change, the serenity to endure what I cannot change, and the wisdom to make the right distinction between the two.